What up, Bulls Nation? We've got a live CHGO Bulls pod coming up for y'all right around the corner. On today's show, more late offseason early projection win-loss totals from Vegas. Where are the Bulls and does it make sense? Plus, more fresh NBA front office rankings. Good news, surprise, the Bulls moved up. How much? We'll talk about it next. What's going on, Bulls Nation? Welcome into the CHGO Bulls podcast. Coming to you live from our studios here in West Loop, downtown Chicago. I'm Peck, Bulls _ Peck. That's Big Dave. Bam!
Oh, man.
BNWL Sports. Will the Go Gottlieb, perfectly coiffed. Will _ Gottlieb. And Queen of the Controls, she'll write your name. She is the one and only Katie Duffy. What up, Katie?
I got a blank space, baby.
Woo! Can't wait for that Tay-Tay playlist you're going to make for us.
Wait, why did you just spontaneously start laughing?
Because I saw the graphic.
You saw the thumbnail?
Yeah.
It's a good one.
That's a good one. That's pretty awesome, man.
Thanks for joining us, Bulls Nation. If you are in that YouTube chat, go ahead and hit the like button now so Kate doesn't bug you about it for the next hour while we're talking Bulls together. What up, Israel? Fine Day, Maddie Legend, everybody joining us. Yeah. Bebop, Poru in the chat.
Hey, man.
What up, Dave?
I'm the most popular person in this office today.
Is that true?
Because when I walked in, everybody has asked me to borrow the AC. Everyone that has been
denied every request,
and I denied every request except Katie's because she asked first. So I gave her the mini one I had.
The central air is a little overwhelmed today.
Yeah,
it feels with this, the high ceilings, this loft building that we work in.
Yes,
but I did walk in and find you strategically positioned underneath the vent.
Wasn't strategic; it just happened that way.
No, it was strategic.
My body finds itself.
It was strategic.
To those things. Yes,
give yourself some credit. That was brilliant.
Oh, I did. I said my body finds
themselves. And then when you were doing WWE, that's where I was standing.
I was I was having wrestling conversations with Brendan Parolini. Shout out to him. His his girlfriend told me that she saw me at Vegas when we got there.
Really?
Off the airplane.
Oh, yeah?
We got off the airplane, and I'm standing in baggage
in the
claim.
airport?
Yeah. She said, I saw you in baggage claim standing there because she said she went for the Backstreet Boys concert. And she said she immediately texted Brendan and was like, oh, my God. It's that wrestling guy. And I was like, the wrestling guy.
Like,
that's
knew
awesome.
you from
me from being the wrestling person. Yeah.
Your wrestling show with us?
Correct. Because that's how I met him. He found out I did wrestling and he was all over
the wrestling guy.
He found out I did wrestling. He was like, dude, I want to be on the show. Guy. He wanted to be that. And she was like, that's him. I know that's him. And he was like, go up to him because I want to come on the show and talk to him. And she was too shy to come and speak. So she snapped a picture of me at the airport on the low. And she showed it to me. I was like, okay, that's pretty impressive to do that picture right there on the low of me with this. That's pretty. You want to be
known as the wrestling guy or the Bulls guy?
I want to be known as just Big Dave.
I mean,
okay.
A man who wears many hats, literally and figuratively.
Some people call me the music guy. You know what I mean?
Sure.
People use other names. Shout out to those people.
The great hugs guy.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that come with it. There's a lot of hats, many hats I wear. I would say, but. Yeah, that was just really funny though. But yeah, come on up and say hello. I would happily take a picture and talk and all of those things, guys. Never feel afraid to do that ever.
We're friendly.
With him, don't do that to him. Don't do that to him.
Leave Goto alone.
Don't speak to me.
Leave
friendly.
I'm just kidding. Please come say hi to me. Especially if you're at a Bulls game and you see me, come say hi, please.
Yeah.
Yes.
Don't
touch the cough.
Shout out to Colin calling, who said, I thought about hitting the like, then I did it. End of story. It's a great story, Colin.
Yeah.
Thanks for hitting that like button. What up, Abe? What up, D-Lasso? Rob saying, good thing CHGO's AC wasn't traded away. It hasn't been traded away, but it is having a down year today.
Yeah.
His
down year
3-point
today.
shot is not falling today.
I'm telling you.
And I don't know what's
Off
up with
shooting
the
that.
vets
But I got Yuki, so
Yeah.
I'm good.
I also
man.
noticed that you kindly granted Katie, your child's side piece, little mini,
Yeah, I said that
mini
earlier.
fan.
Yeah, because she was literally the first
sidecar.
person to
Yeah.
ask me.
We call it the sidecar.
Yeah, you know what I mean? The side piece. You know what I mean? I call it side, but she was the first one to. You like that?
You guys are so goofy today.
That's
Like,
the side piece.
Dog
bro.
days, Katie.
That's the side piece.
Get on
like
board.
the Studio B energy is
This
crazy.
is your first. This week is your first full taste of CHGO Bulls Dog Days.
Wow, that's true.
Yeah, because
You
you
came
started
on board
like,
right
wow,
before
the first
like
week
this
of the
past season
season,
started.
my first show with you guys was a preseason.
Imagine
postgame show.
Exactly.
starting this job right as the season would be kicking off. That would be tough.
But you made it
But
through.
some people
made it
killed
through.
it.
almost your
Yeah.
first full year, and the Dog Days episodes, the Dog Days weeks. That's your reward.
I'll never forget my first show. I was supposed to be training, and instead I produced it by myself.
I do remember
So
that.
it was just very
That's a
poetic
flex.
of my
Yeah.
time here.
That's a flex, ladies and gentlemen.
Uh,
Produced it.
So, yes, it is the Dog Days, but we are still here and still chatting. First thing on deck, we wanted to talk about
News.
more early 25-26 NBA season
more
over-under
news.
totals are getting out there. DK put some up, FD put some up, and also our friends at Bet365, shout out to them,
Shout out.
have their win-loss totals for all 30 NBA teams available now. Go check it out. Download that Bet365 app. Gentlemen, 32.5 seems to be the number across the board. Thank you, Katie. There you see it. The Bulls there, fourth from the bottom among Eastern Conference teams with win-loss over-under at 32.5. The Wizards all the way down there doing what the Wizards do at 20.5. Nets at 21.5. Charlotte 24.5. And then the Bulls a substantial 8-win jump to 32. Then you see the other perennial play-in crews, the Raptors and Heat there in the high 30s. Pacers, Suns, Halliburton, maybe a disrespectful 38.5 wins.
Yeah.
And then you see the top of the table there on the left. Let's just start with the Bulls, and we can talk about some other teams here, especially those in and around their company. 32.5 makes sense. That would be 7 fewer wins than this past season and the season before that.
Yeah. Where they have them, I agree. Because that's usually where the Bulls usually are, is those three bottom teams are going to be behind, whatever the Bulls are doing. That's what it's been.
They're the bottom of the middle.
Correct. I found it a little surprising that they have them at 32, only because it's not their MO.
No.
You know what I mean? It's not how they really
39.
kind of roll. You know what I mean? 39. I had them at 29 last year.
Same.
Shout out AK. I had them there last year at that. And then, but they won 39 games. And
Flex.
shout out to you know what I mean? Yeah, that's it. Shout out to you on that. You did something nobody, thought was going to go down that way. They had a great second half of the year. I guess they're predicting that they won't have that great second half of the year and make those kind of amazing runs, seeing that Josh Giddey half-court shot, winning close games against these teams, being the Nuggets or guys just being out. It feels like they expect them to be just like kind of out of it. You know what I mean? Like when we get to that point.
Yeah.
And I find that interesting because the Bulls really do compete and they really do play hard. And Billy Donovan has them ready to kind of play hard every single night. So I do find that interesting. The Raptors at 36, I think that's the right kind of move because they were injured. Brandon Ingram, being back there and playing and just all the new pieces they kind of have. I expect that. The Heat is the one where I'm like, I don't know if the Heat will win that many games. I'm just not sure. I've got to see it to be completely convinced, but I'm just not sure they'll win 37.
And for all the rumors that the Heat are always in with some of the big names and who might be moving from team to team in the offseason, the Heat have had a very quiet offseason.
Yeah.
Like not a lot going on there.
They got Norman Powell for free. That was a good.
They
move.
did. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that move for them. Okay, so I like a lot of what you said, Dave, and I think generally speaking, I completely agree. Like 32 wins is just so low for a team that has shown an active disregard for going that direction. Like
Yes.
I don't see a world where even if they're on pace for having a bad season, they're not going to be a team that packs it in at the end. They're going to be a team that tries hard throughout. I just don't think you're going to win 32 games that way. Breaking the season into chunks, they obviously started 18-20 last year, That was through January 10th. Then through the rest of the way up until the All-Star break, when they were 22 and 33, that means that they went 4 and 13 over a 17-game stretch.
Wow.
And then finished the season obviously on the 15 and 5 run. So like at the All-Star break, they had they won 40% of their games. If you extrapolate that over the course of a season, it's about 32 and a half, 33. So I think maybe that's where they're getting this 32 and a half win number. But for me, like, this is not a situation, I don't think, where the Bulls, even though they have their pick, even though they like could try to get into the tank race, like if they're 12th in like 4, 5, 6 games out of 10th, like I think they're still going to try. They're not going to pack it in. And even when we saw guys get shut down with injury, they still went for it. So for me, I think like the win number is pretty low. The interesting piece is like the kind of tiers of the rest of the East and seeing them 12 out of 15 outside the play-in. That's one where I don't know. I mean, I think they could still win more games than 32 and also miss the play-in.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys would like want to look at that graphic again and just like talk about the tier or the rankings between those. But like to me, that's kind of interesting to see how the Bulls compare relative to these other teams. Obviously, the Cavs, the Knicks, and the Magic are kind of that top tier, all above 50 wins. Hawks and Pistons, I think, are in that second tier down in the 45, 46 win range. And then you have Celtics, Bucks, 76ers, Pacers, all teams that have a ton of injury questions, a ton of uncertainty, obviously have had high ceilings in the past, but just like you're not betting on them to hit that again. And then I think the Bulls are accurately in this same tier with the Heat and the Raptors, although based on these, win totals, like they're actually looks like a tier below. But I would put them in that race for the 10th seed with the Heat and the Raptors for sure.
Yeah, I can see that. It's just so interesting to me to see like those bottom 3, like just 8 games. It's just that's it. You know what I mean? Like a cutoff point, for the rest of the league.
Because those are like the obvious tankers.
No, I get it. Yeah. I get it. It's just funny to see it like that. It's not that I disagree with it. It's just looking at it. It's interesting. Shout out to the Magic having them projected at 51 wins, as you should, because when you go make that trade for a guy like Desmond Bane, I think anything under 50, we need to be having a talk and a discussion, bro, because we made this move to win. Yeah. So that needs to happen right there. I think the Celtics will definitely still be that team, getting 40-plus wins. The Knicks will be up there. Cleveland, I don't think is going to change anything like that. But the Heat, man, I go back to that. That's the only one where I'm just like, I don't see the 37 that they win. And as great of a coach as I know Eric Spoelstra is, I think it's a little less than that. You still need the proper kind of talent for sure. But maybe 34 I can hear, but I don't know about 37.
Made his first All-Star appearance this past season.
Yeah.
Got Bam.
Yeah.
Like, there is talent on that Heat team. It's not elite talent, but there's talent.
Davion Mitchell.
Wiggins. Problems for the Bulls.
Your boy Khalil Ware. Yeah.
That's right.
I feel like they kind of figured themselves out a little bit after the Jimmy trade when they went on that like 10-game losing streak at the end of the season.
Well, maybe that's what it is. Like maybe it's like betting on Khalil Ware to actually taking that big step for them. And Yakachonis, yes. Maybe it's that, you know what I'm saying, those guys. So if I see that start to happen and things like then I'm like, okay.
I think that they will be there.
Yeah, they'll be there.
Bulls Heat play in, book it. Get your tickets now, y'all.
The odds of that have to be long in terms of how can you project out who's going to be in the 9-10 game? But it has to be the Bulls in these games.
It gotta be, right?
There's no way it's not. In stone, it is written in the stars. It is written every goddamn where.
I would say this too, of that group in the middle that was Celtics, Pacers, Bucks, Celtics, 76ers, the injury questions, 1 or 2 or 3 of them is going to have another disaster of a year, and they're going to shut it down.
The Sixers steered toward the tank aggressively and ended up, out of the picture and allowed the Bulls and Heat to both make the play-in tournament last season. Might not be the case. It is crazy to see Bucks, Celtics, Sixers all there in the middle of the pack of the East under win total.
Those were the top 4 in the East
exactly. It's these are weird times in the East.
Incredibly weird.
Not elite times, but weird times.
Weird.
All right, let's knock out our first couple of ads right there. We'll come back on the other side and rip open a fresh slab pack from Arena Club. Keep talking about East wins. Hit the like. Today's show brought to you by Empire. Just like your team needs home court advantage, shout out AK, your home needs home floor advantage. And Empire today can help you get it. Empire has flooring experts, dedicated flooring professionals who focus on flooring every day, all day, no matter what. Unlike those big box stores that have a flooring department, maybe, probably, but not flooring experts who work there. So why trust anyone other than Empire? Because flooring is all they do. Get precise measurements taken and have all your questions answered so there are no surprises. Check out a free home estimate today because some things are just better done at home. CHGO listeners can receive a $350 discount when using promo code CHGO. You heard that right, $350 off with promo code CHGO. Restrictions apply. Visit EmpireToday.com/CHGO for details. 588-2300. Dave.
Empire.
Today.
Yeah. Making money moves should be very simple, ladies and gentlemen. They should be smooth. They should be cool, like my man Matt Peck. And that's why, ladies and gents, there is Cash App. No extra hoops to jump through, no extra stress, no woozies, and for the love of the summer quaff, no wallsies at all. And for a limited time only, new Cash App users can use this exclusive code and earn some additional cash. For real, there's no catch. Just download Cash App and sign up. Use this exclusive referral code, CHGO Bulls. In your profile, send $5 to a friend, and within 14 days, you'll get $10 dropped right into your account. What's that sound? A kerplunk. Terms apply. Terms apply. That's money, ladies and gentlemen. That's Cash App. Breathe. Let it sail in.
A calm finish.
Yes.
Let the Cash App flow through.
I like it.
Let the Cash App flow.
We're rolling along here, CHGO Bulls, on Wednesday afternoon. Peck, Big Dave, Goat, and the queen of the controls, Katie. All right, what is it time for, Bulls Nation? It's time for Cards from the Vault from our partners at Arena Club. Right now, you can get 20% off your first slab pack or card purchase by going to arenaclub.com/CHGO and use promo code CHGO. Katie, do we have this week's slab pack ready to rip? Let's do it.
It's like a major motion.
Give us
Come on,
good.
Yuki.
It's a movie right here.
Give me a Michael. Give me a frickin' Michael. Yeah, let's do it, baby.
In a world where no one's
Park.
ripping packs open, there's Arena Club.
Oh, is that our
It's a
autograph?
rookie.
It's a rookie RJ Barrett?
Oh, okay.
Autographed?
Autographed with.
Whoa.
Is there a little jersey
Little piece of the jersey.
piece of the jersey in there?
Go.
Or am I tripping? No, there's
No, I
not.
think
No,
you're
no,
tripping. But that is for sure an autograph
Yeah.
on a rookie RJ Barrett.
Not bad.
we get
Love
the-
that.
can we get the
I think
value
that's
of
my
this?
first autograph card that I've ripped
Well done.
with Arena Club. So now he joins my vault alongside James Harden, who I ripped open last week. By the way, it was a throwback Brooklyn Nets James Harden.
It was.
I've also got a Paolo Banchero, and of course, the first one I had to rip open was a LeBron James.
All right, I have a
Yay.
question.
Yes.
It appears it's rotating, so it's hard to really catch it. But it appears that this is a PSA 9.
Yeah.
It's a digital card. Like, how can it be not? How can you even have a grading system on those? Like, the grading is for like the quality of the card, right?
Yes.
So like,
Yes.
if it's digital, how is there a quality?
That's a good question.
I'm sure Arena Club knows.
I'm
I
sure
need
Arena
someone
Club
at
can
Arena
explain
Club
it
to
to
reach
you.
out.
They
and
will
explain
break it
this to
down
me.
for you
Yeah.
when you sign up, ladies and gents, at arenaclub.com.
Yeah, check out arenaclub.com. You can buy, sell, trade, rip one of those slab packs, find some gems. If
figure out
anybody
the
wants to
value
buy
of
my
them?
LeBron James card, it is for sale.
What will you take?
I will not take any less than
An Italian beef.
boom. That's the right answer.
it is,
I will
yes.
trade you my LeBron James Arena Club slab pack card.
There's currency, there's cryptocurrency, and there's Italian beef.
Very important stipulation. Got to be a big beef,
Okay.
not a regular size beef. A big beef.
Sweet hot dip.
Do you care where it's from?
No.
Johnny's.
I mean, it can't be from
goat.
like somewhere crummy.
Okay. So Al's or
I'm good with Al's.
Portillo's.
Pizzo's
Johnny's.
obviously.
Like you said,
Express
yeah.
Grill.
the goat.
Bone of
Jim's.
beef.
Hey, I might draw the line.
Oh, there we are. We found it. We found it, ladies and gents. There it is. All right.
Yeah.
Hey,
So
Julia.
hit me up on my Arena Club profile if you want to offer me a beef sandwich for my LeBron James card.
All right.
All right. So back to win-loss, because I think there's a little bit more there. Like we joke, I think, about the whole
It's always the beef.
sometimes 2, sometimes 4, but always 3 games under 500. It's been a pretty sturdy theory
Pretty accurate.
for years now.
Yeah, it's been a thing.
Like it gets proven to be accurate way more often than it gets disproven.
This is true.
Which is why I think you're like, dude, 32.5? Hammer the over right now. Take the Bulls over 32.5 wins this upcoming season. It's minus 110 right now on Bet365.
I just
If
feel
you
like-
feel confident with it, you can do that. But there are also, like, I think there are fair questions to raise about if you can just, like, book those, at least low 30s wins for the Bulls, how and when they're getting them in the different parts of the season.
Think about how hard the Raptors tried to lose last year.
That is true.
They benched
just
guys
they
down
just
the
benched
stretch.
their starting 5 in lots
they
of
played
fourth
guys
quarters.
like a few minutes at the start of the game, and then like Orlando Robinson
Oh,
was like
Commander.
running
Tank
DHOs like he was
commander.
DeMontis Sabonis out there. Like
man.
That dude stink.
they won 30 games. Like
Yeah.
it's just hard to lose that many games unless
Yeah.
you're really trying. And even in the Eastern Conference, it's hard. It's even harder. Like
Yeah.
if you're the Jazz or the Pelicans, maybe not the Pelicans, they're gonna try. Like some of these bottom feeders in the West, okay, fine, I could get that because the West is so talented. But the East, like there's not going to be as many of those like auto losses at the top. You're not playing, and they even beat the Celtics last year, but like
They did.
you're not going to have 4 losses to the Celtics and the Cavs, maybe the Cavs, but like some of these teams are just going to be a little bit more beatable than they have been in recent years. And I just think there's not as much stratification within the top 12. Like there's going to be more winnable games out there.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that the Bulls there would have to be a huge departure from their identity as a team that is like morally against packing it in.
Yes.
For them to win fewer than 32 games.
Like
I'm not guaranteeing that they won't. Like they could be the team that has the injuries,
Okay.
but I just don't really see an obvious pathway to fewer than 32 wins.
I agree. I mean, that's the bottom 3 is like maybe 9 or 10 wins.
Yeah.
Right there. You know what I'm saying, on your record. And they're going to get some wins that we'll be surprised that they get. There'll be some teams that will be like, oh, man, I can't believe they beat that team. It's just really hard for them to do that. Their offense will have to go, kaput and out of here, and that's a winnable way to play that they're playing, the style of basketball that they're playing on the offensive side. You're getting it and you're running teams out of them and you're testing their conditioning. Not everybody's going to be well conditioned, especially if you're coming off a back-to-back. There's going to be certain guys who might not be playing, but it doesn't matter if the Bulls are coming off a back-to-back. You know how they play. And they have the guards and they've got those kind of horses that they want to run. So, yeah, I'm a little surprised at 32 to see them there. Of course, I can't wait to watch the season. As I keep saying, this stuff is going to get answered very, very early for this team. So, but yeah, man, like it would just have to be a real collapse, for them to just have 32 total wins, in my opinion.
I think maybe they're like factoring in some of the like big wins that the Bulls did have. I mean, they had like 2 really close win against the Knicks, that game where Kobe got fouled at the end and he made all 3 free throws.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my
they
God.
beat the Celtics at home, was it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think, my family was at that game, and
Ooh,
we were
flex.
just like, what is happening?
What is happening?
They beat the Pacers one time when Halliburton was
Hallie
out.
sat.
And he's
They
out.
beat the Bucks early on in the season, like bamboozled them in game 2.
They beat the Kongs when Sabonis was out.
Calm.
No, I'm just saying like some of these Eastern teams, like maybe the odds makers are saying like, well, they're not going to get those kind of wins again next year, and maybe that's why they're driving down the number. But I think like for each one of those, you could say, well, they're probably going to beat, some of these other teams more easily this
They
year
won't
than
sweep the
last.
Heat in the regular season because
Yeah.
they beat the Heat every time they played them.
Bebop in the comments saying last year the Bulls started 18-20 mainly because Vooch was having a career year.
He was.
And Zach finally decided to start playing team basketball. I don't know if that little dig at Zach at the tail end of your comment was, man. I think Zach was playing like, let me get my trade value up so I can get out of here basketball.
Boom.
But
what he just said.
It also did, when Zach is hooping like that, lead to some wins.
Yeah.
And Vooch was doing the exact same thing, by the way. Like,
yes, for
career
sure.
year, but it was also
Zach
like, get
and
me
Vooch,
out.
neither of them made all-star reserves. We had shorts that we put out, like, making the case for them because they were legitimate cases.
Yeah,
they got
legitimate.
beat out, Tyler Hero, whatever, but, like, they both were playing all-star caliber basketball on their way to the Bulls starting 18-20, as opposed to a lot of us thinking that this was a step-back season.
Yeah.
It was not.
Yeah.
But, like, so Zach's gone. Vooch is still here. How Vooch will look out of the gate this season, assuming he is still here come the Bulls' first game in late October, we'll see. I do think, you might be onto something, Goat, with just, like, the landscape of the East. The Bulls are going to play a lot of these teams a lot. And I don't know, maybe the Vegas odds makers, like, despite the fact that a lot of these teams that were good in the East last season are missing are going to be missing key pieces, including, like, their best player in some cases this upcoming season. They still have more talent on those teams than the Bulls do. And, like, I don't disagree with that.
It's true.
But that's not necessarily what drives, like, medium-level winning in the regular season.
What drives it then?
Like, effort, consistency, playing to a certain style, getting
Playing
up a lot of
fast.
threes, playing fast, playing, decent defense, which the Bulls did during the second half of the year
They did.
in particular. Like, they are a team that is built to, I don't want to talk about it like they're going to win 50 games, but, like, to not be terrible in the regular season. Like, I don't think they're going to win 45, but I also don't think they're going to win 32. Like, it's going to be probably closer to
50.
40 or 38 or something. But I just think that, like, there is, to me, like, there's something about, like, the identity of a team, and you factor in what you expect their approach to be. And I think that was a huge part of the Bulls over-under last year. It was 27.5, in large part due to the fact that there was no pathway for them to win. They just traded Caruso, they just traded DeRozan, and they owed their pick top 10 protected. Like, any reasonable person would assume that they're going towards the bottom to try to keep that pick. Nobody would sit here and say, well, we can just predict the fact that the Bulls are going to trade for their own pick back so that they don't have to tank. Or we can just assume that they're not going to worry about the pick whatsoever and be fine with giving up the 11th pick. Like, nobody would assume that. And so you either have to, think about them as a 25-win team, or you think, like, they're going to go all in, trade more picks, and try to blow that out of the water. So for me, like, these low predictions, that was the only reason to make a low prediction. And now that they're out from under, owing their picks, they don't have to worry about that. They're worried about, like, getting better. They value winning as a function of development. Like, they feel like winning games during the regular season produces development in some of the young players. Like, they're just not built to pack it in. So even if they are out of the race, I just don't see them pulling those levers that they need to. And as a result, I don't see them winning fewer than 32 games.
Won't be out of the race for that home court in the 9-10 game. They are going to be in the thick of that race. Dreads in the chat saying, are they accounting for the Bulls' annual March run when only the Bulls are playing hard? Like, seriously, bank them for,
like, for real,
9 March wins.
Oh.
Like, seriously.
Okay.
Every year when it is in the Bulls' best interest to increase their lottery odds based on where they are, they do the opposite and win a bunch of games in March and April.
Yeah.
When teams are resting for the playoffs or tanking better and harder than the Bulls are.
It's true. It's what they've kind of done. I mean, the 14-9 was the first thing you got to think of when you say that.
15-5.
15-5.
Even better this time.
You know what I'm saying? So,
kudos.
Yeah,
well,
it's
what's
kind of how
funny
they
is
do.
during the season where they actually did make the playoffs, in 2020,
21-22.
Yeah,
that was the year where they finished 8 and 15.
I remember. Yeah.
They slid all the way down to 6th and barely hung on to the 6th seed.
Oh, I remember it well because Matt and I were still doing Locked On Bulls, and we did a show about what they were going to do in that second half of the season, and it damn sure wasn't 8-15.
No, I think we predicted 15-8.
Yeah.
And then it was the reverse. It
They
was
were
like,
like, nope,
oh, dear God.
swing that.
And
You
like
were,
one of those
getting-
wins was DeMar scoring 50 against the Clippers in overtime. Like,
did. What
it
a
was
game.
just
Some of those signs early on, you could tell that things were crumbling, and then boy, did they crumble. Speaking of crumbling, none of our sponsors and partners ever do when it comes to offering you their fine products and services. Hit the like while you listen to some ads.
Clever Lang. Pain.
Lang.
Looking to buy, sell, trade, or wrap open a pack of cards? Well, you got to get with Arena Club. They're changing the hobby with their transparent slab packs and no-fee auction. You got to check out the slab packs, ladies and gentlemen. You can rip a pack for as low as $25 and hit on a card that's worth tens of thousands of dollars. Every pack has grails that are at least 20 times the price of the pack. Arena Club is the most trusted name in the game. If you ain't down with them, that's a shame. Don't be a lame. From your digital showroom, you can trade, sell, auction, or retrieve your physical card from Arena Club. And if you're headed to that 45th National Sports Collectors Convention, ladies and gentlemen, be sure to stop by the Arena Club booth. July 30th through August 3rd is when it's happening at the Donald E. Stevens Convention Center in Rosemont, Illinois. I was going to say Rosemont Horizon.
Hey,
right now,
throwback.
You can get 20% off your slab pack or card purchase by going to arenaclub.com/CHGO and use the code CHGO. Arena Club. Rip 'em.
Today's show also brought to you by Bet365. Speaking of those Bulls win total over-unders, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. New customers can now get $150 in bonus bets when you bet your first $5. Win or lose that bet, doesn't matter. You'll get the $150 bonus cash either way. Just use that promo code CHGO365 when you sign up. Also, for you baseball fanatics, with the Bet365 early payout offer, you're a winner if your team goes 5 runs ahead with an instant payout on straight bets and parlay selections marked as winners. So download that app. Be sure to use promo code CHGO365 when you sign up. And those bonus dollars, you can use them on just about anything you want. Spreads, totals, player props, futures, and more. What are you waiting for? Must be 21 and older. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, crisis counseling and referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER in-app only. All right, next on the agenda, and yes, please do vote in that poll also. It's a good poll today, Katie. Also, people who are saying jellyfish are freaking crazy. Hit the like button. If you voted in the poll, hit the like. Katie's not okay with the likes. She needs more. Next on the agenda, Sam Quinn, CBS Sports.
Shout out.
NBA writer. Another front office rankings for the NBA. He did one of these in February, if y'all recall. I believe we talked about it. Right around that trade deadline when AK was saying, I'll stay, because I'll stay is my favorite phrase. Did sign Lonzo Ball to a new contract, but no trades. No Kobe trade, no Vooch trade, no nothing trade, no nothing trade. I guess he did trade Zach. That was a little bit, before the trade deadline. So, fresh NBA rankings taking into account what these front offices have been up to during the offseason. The Bulls, when Sam Quinn did this in February, were 30 of 30.
30 for 30.
That's right.
What if I told
Not
you?
the documentary series.
What if I told you?
AKA dead last was AK and his pal Marc Eversley. The fresh ones that just dropped
Okay.
earlier this week, the Bulls moved up
Let's go.
to 29th.
Oh.
Moving on up.
Moving on up.
Obviously, you see some elite franchises there in the top 3. OKC, the defending champs. Swindlers in the Caruso trade. Thieves. A bevy of draft picks. And young all-NBA caliber stars. Well, they've got it all. Celtics, still there at number 2. Obviously, they have had sort of a fire sale of sorts after the Tatum injury.
They have.
And the San Antonio Spurs, they got Wemby. They got a lot of other fun, good stuff cooking, young talent cooking.
They do.
They are in the top 3 as well.
Yeah.
Bottom 3, guys. Kings, the Kongs,
Kong.
the Bulls of the West
Huh?
at 28, Bulls 29th, and bless Joe Dumars' heart. The Pelicans have fallen to 30th. We're not last. We're not last.
Yeah.
Initial reactions before we dive into some of Quinn's notes on why he decided to make this slight alteration for the Bulls?
Yeah. Does it bring you joy that Gar Forman is a part of the Pelicans in their 30th?
Is he
I don't
still
think he
working
is.
for them?
I don't think he does.
He's not there anymore?
He
Okay, all right.
was a scout for them as recently as last
as far
summer,
as I
I
remember,
think.
yeah.
But
I think when they changed.
When Dumars got there? Oh, so it's very recent.
even
then.
they figured out that he's a big old
I'm gonna look it up,
phony.
but I
Okay. Yeah. I mean, like it's a lot of evidence to prove the point of, they should be there. I am glad they moved out of the cellar and to the second level of the cellar. So, kind of still in the basement, but not on the floor.
They're on the second from bottom step from the basement going up to the first floor of the house.
Correct. They have a mattress
right
now, not a full bed, but an actual mattress instead of sleeping on the actual floor. So that's that's a thing. Twin mattress that you sleep on. That's cool. It's too much evidence for me to refute what they're saying as far as them being 29, or even if you want to put them 28.
Right.
Fine. You know what I mean? But it's kind of been their own doing of why they are there at that point. And again, I gave them a little credit a few days ago for, not making, any ridiculous mistakes.
Right.
So far, and I stand on that. And for me, that's raising it to 29 because they did not get that from me last year or the previous year. So, yeah, that's the growth right there, ladies and gentlemen. They are doing tiny, small things a little bit better. The contract, the ongoing thing with Giddey, I agree with, and all that kind of stuff. So 29, 28, yeah, I feel like they're right there.
And Goat, I know when this popped up on our Bulls Slack the other day when somebody first found it, you were like, oh, man, like I don't know if I can vote the Bulls front office worse than the Kings, given what the Kings are doing.
Yeah,
there's some other teams you could debate. Are they really worse than the Dallas Mavericks, who are still getting heat for the Luka trade? Are they worse than the Phoenix Suns, who, bold as Ishbia is, are in all kinds of trouble? They did finally manage to move on from Bradley Beal, but, what the heck is their long-term plan?
Yeah.
I do also think it's interesting, Goat. The team that has fallen below the Bulls in these rankings did so because of a draft night trade that was so bad and so widely panned. And instead of the Bulls being a team that could have theoretically taken advantage of being the other team in that trade to get themselves an unprotected pick in next year's draft, they were not. They passed on that.
Yeah, they sure did. I have a lot of thoughts.
Oh, let's go.
Number one is there is no world in which you can say that the Bulls are worse than the Kings. The Kings just saw what happened with the Bulls for 3 years and decided we want that. In a much more difficult Western Conference, we want that. That's disqualifying to me. That's terrible.
All right. I mean, I could argue that the person who started it is the worst one.
But the Bulls realized, okay, this is not working. Maybe it took way too long, but they didn't realize, actually, we want to invest in doing that. After seeing that it didn't work,
give me some of that.
The Kings said, give me some of that.
Well, part of it, at least, I think, is out of their control because they had a young star in De'Aaron Fox who let them know, hey, I'm not signing another contract with y'all.
That's
to trade
true.
me.
Yeah.
And that is what eventually led to them bringing Zach
Dude,
LaVine alongside DeMar DeRozan.
The Kings had success for the first time in 20 years, and within 3, they have completely dismantled it and turned into Bulls West in a much harder conference.
Katie?
Can I correct me if I'm wrong? Did the Kings not fire somebody in their front office because of this exact move?
Yeah.
They did.
So maybe that is the reason for them.
Here's
because
what happened.
The Bulls aren't firing anybody.
Monty McNair resigned because presumably Vivek Ranadive, the owner, or Jeremy Lamb and Vivek's daughter are running this. So I don't think that just because Monty McNair is no longer there, that rhymed.
Come on, go. Oh, I'll be in
that
this
you
head.
that you can necessarily say that because I think most of those decisions were probably coming from above him. That's why he decided to leave in the first place. Enough about the Kings, though. I can't talk about them.
Talk about the Kongs then.
I think that there's different ways you can look at this, and the way that I think I would describe the argument that we were having yesterday is there's levels to it, right? There's teams that are doing well, very well, teams that are doing okay, teams that are doing neutral, teams that are doing bad, and teams that are doing terribly.
Okay.
And the Bulls stopped digging, so they can't be at the bottom anymore. Maybe they will start digging again, we don't know. But right now, it just doesn't seem like they're actively making damaging moves the way that they have in the past. So to me, they're just not even in that same category as another team who is making damaging moves, like the Pelicans, like the Kings. I kind of like what the Suns have done, all things considered, but then like you double down, I should say, with the Kevin Durant trade specifically. I don't think they could have done much better than that.
Yeah.
But then like you're a team that's like supposed to be this team that just doesn't care about the salary cap, doesn't care about overspending, doesn't care about luxury tax or aprons or any of this stuff, doesn't care about draft picks. But then you like cut Bradley Beal to save money. You pay Devin Booker this contract that's going to end up being just really hard to manage when you like just have $20 million of dead space on your books from Bradley Beal. So like there's just so much conflicting information with them. Like I like Common Malawach. I like the Mark Williams trade, but like I just can't put the Suns above or below the Bulls. I guess I should say the Suns belong below the Bulls.
Okay.
So like again, the Bulls could start digging again, and they could give Giddey $30 million, and they could trade future picks, and they could trade Modest away, or whatever. Like they haven't done that yet, and so for now, I think at least for this year, they have to be a little bit higher. Body of work, I think that's a separate story, and I think really what it comes down to is the general direction that this team has gone, which is like to the middle. And I think people who are analyzing the league-wide, people who are a lot of times in the league with other teams like trying to build, nobody who wants to succeed at the highest level is making the decisions that the Bulls have made. And that's how you end up being stuck in the middle. And that's why I think they're in this category for the first place. But to their credit, they have stopped digging. And I think that elevates them a little bit from the very bottom. I think they're probably just in the like middle or like the one below that. But to me, they're like above the bottom based on what they've done this summer.
So from 29 then to where would you put them?
I don't know what exact number is. We can like go through it if we want, but
so
I just like
if
I
above
separated
Sacramento
into,
and above Phoenix, then at least 27th.
and like I mean they didn't trade away Luka Doncic and get one pick. Like I don't know. I just feel like they haven't done anything that was like that. You could talk about the Caruso trade, but like from the last season, like I think they did kind of well on the Zach LaVine trade. That was one thing I wanted to bring up that maybe we spend more time on, or maybe we just do it now. But like you look at teams cutting and waving and stretching and being content with 5 years worth of $22 million of dead money in Damian Lillard on the Bucks book.
Yeah.
$20 million a year for 5 years of Bradley Beal, the Suns are going to be stuck with. Like the Bulls, we may not have loved the direction that they went with that trade, but like they got a first round pick for Zach LaVine.
Their own.
And that was, yeah. And again, we may not have loved the direction, but that was a trade that like Zach not making quite as much as those guys, probably having a better season, not injured. So like it's not completely apples to apples, but it's pretty close. And they like ended up with useful players and a pick back, which is like pretty good when you look at some of these other trades that have happened for similar types of players. So I just think like they're probably in the 20s somewhere, but it's probably closer to 25 or 23 than it is to 30.
You used a phrase when talking about some of the other teams and their front offices and mistakes that they had made. You said the Bulls haven't done anything, and then continued to list some of the bad things that the front offices of other teams did. That phrase made my ears perk up because I said, put a bow on that.
Yeah, the
When you're
period.
rating NBA front
the period
offices,
is right there.
that's why the Bulls are at the bottom. They don't do anything.
But that's
They're
why-
not trying to, even if you're making mistakes trying to win, it's what, Dave, you said about the Vooch trade in our show yesterday. I was cool with that because it was an aggressive move that was trying to make your team better right now.
Yeah.
AK and Eversley have, other than the summer of 21, not been making any of those moves anytime recently. They don't do anything. So what do they get credit for? Why would they be ranked higher? Yes, other front offices towards the bottom of these rankings have made some pretty bold and even bogus and bad moves. All of them in an effort to make their teams better.
That's why
I don't, as a Bulls fan, feel like this front office does that.
That's why when I was saying like I separated it into 5 categories: the teams that are doing very well for themselves, the teams that are doing well for themselves, the teams that are doing neutral or nothing, the teams that are hurting themselves, and the teams that are really making damaging decisions. Like I don't think you can put the teams that are doing nothing or that are doing neutral in the same category as the teams that are actively hurting themselves.
I hear that. As a Bulls fan, it drives me crazy.
I'm not saying
nothing
being in the middle
category is not the bottom category.
I'm not saying
Like,
being in the
F
middle
that
is a good
philosophy.
thing. I'm just saying it's not the worst thing.
It's a nothing.
It's another thing.
But again, that's how you end up in the middle, which I've argued since the day I started doing this, that that's not a good thing.
And the last paragraph of Sam Quinn's write-up explaining the Bulls' positioning at 29th, Katie, if you want to put that up, Sam Quinn said, "It's the same old story in Chicago. The Bulls' ambition doesn't seem to extend beyond filling the arena and ducking the luxury tax. Damn. The Bulls have failed on just about every roster-building front, drafting, trading, contracts, any sort of coherent vision, all of it. You know things are bleak when Jerry Reinsdorf is selling the White Sox to Matt Ishbia's brother, who represents real hope to that broken fan base. In February, I assumed that the Bulls would hold the number 30 slot in these rankings until Reinsdorf sold them as well. ... And then the Pelicans hired Joe Dumars. But look,
wow.
Same
That's
old
scathing,
story.
ladies and gentlemen.
Same old story.
Yeah.
The front office is failing in a lot of different ways when it comes to roster construction, draft picks, trades, all that. But beyond that, they are also following orders. Keep the stadium full and stay under the luxury tax. That, to me, is more of an indictment on ownership than the front office. But the two go hand in hand. We got to knock out 2 more quick ads. Then we'll come back and continue this conversation. Hit the like button if you haven't done it yet. For crying out loud.
The gosh darn button.
Sharks.
I'm so sick of
Katie
it.
will send sharks at you. Ray will never send sharks at you.
Ever.
Only the friendliest, cutest little sharks that you might find in like a SeaWorld petting zoo of some kind.
Little shark.
While giving you a great deal on your new Ray Chevy.
Shout out.
In Fox Lake, they're firing off fireworks with big savings all month long. Come in today. Shop the Freedom to Save sales event. Drive home with $10,000 off MSRP on new Chevy models. Or check out their selection of over 125 vehicles priced under $20,000. As one of the top-selling Chevy dealers in the Midwest, they're able to keep them prices competitive, so you know you'll get a great deal, and there's always that raised price promise. Letting you shop confidently knowing you will never have any hidden fees or this or that tacked onto your final bill of sale. Never. The price you see is the price you pay. So go check it out for yourself. Don't miss out on the Freedom to Save sales event going on all month long. $10,000 off MSRP on new Chevy models. Shop Ray Chevrolet in Fox Lake or at raychevrolet.com.
Katie, what time is it?
Game time hoot.
You're over there.
Impressive.
Alert
With one hand. It's impressive, ladies and gentlemen. Last minute deals is what it's all about with Game Time. That's why I love them. You can save up to 60% off of buying last minute tickets for sports, concerts, comedy, theater, whatever you want to see. Last minute deals is what you can save with, y'all. Fees are included, all right? You can also get those zone deals, which are also awesome. That lowest price guarantee. You can get that Game Time ticket coverage, which comes with the most flexible customer service policy in the entire ticketing industry. But you know, they got them seat views. Matt Peck and me need to know where we're stretching out like we go, having our feet up, hanging out. That's how we want to stretch, ladies and gentlemen, just like that. So take that guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download Game Time, man. Gotta use that. Go see CHGO. Get yourself $20 off your first purchase.
There's a plan.
I said CHGO. Get yourself $20 off your first purchase.
There's a plan.
Download Game Time after day. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. Because with the Gottlieb, what time is it?
Get a move. Rolling along, CHGO Bulls. Target front office on the rankings.
I'm okay. I'm with you.
Fresh ones from Sam Quinn, who bumped the Bulls up from 30th to 29th. Throw that parade. Get Grant Park ready.
Okay, but that's what I'm not saying. I'm not saying like this is great. They're like not doing terribly anymore.
That's not the tweet I just sent out.
You're just making arguments for some other front offices that have been performing worse than they have
Will
recently.
Gottlieb.
I'm saying being in the middle doesn't make you the worst. It just makes you in the middle. Doesn't make you the best, but it certainly doesn't make you the worst.
See, I think that is not a fact, but an opinion.
Ooh, okay.
That's an opinion, not a fact.
Are they worse than Washington?
I think so for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think like the Pelicans have set themselves up for failure. They traded away a first round pick for a guy that has like huge question marks on a team that is going nowhere. The guy got hurt, and like they're going to give up a top 10 pick next year. Like that is actively damaging.
That's a fact.
That
the Kings
is true.
That's a fact.
Are trading De'Aaron Fox for Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan. Like
that they had to.
They kind of.
They didn't have to.
He didn't want it. He wasn't going to sign.
Do you take what you can get for Fox in a trade when he's telling you, I'm out of here, and I would ideally like to go to one of these places, so trade me there, please? You take what you can get, or do you just let him walk as a free, unrestricted free agent and lose him for nothing?
He's not an unrestricted free agent, though. He had a year and a half left on his contract. There's like, they could have waited till the summer. They could have I
guess that's true.
They could have not involved the Bulls in the trade. It didn't need to be a 3-team trade.
Maybe they thought the longer they waited, the less they would have got for him.
They're not putting themselves in cap hell and getting in the second apron every year.
At some point in the past,
the Suns. I get it. It's good that they're spending, and I'm not going to complain about that. But they're doing it irresponsibly. They're getting themselves into trouble to where, and they don't even get the rules. They signed Grayson Allen to more money than he should have made, so they can aggregate him with Royce O'Neal. Except you can't aggregate contracts when you're that far into the second apron, and the only way you can get out of it is if you put 5 years of $20 million in dead salary on your books. That's just not the same. I'm not saying it's good to be doing nothing. I'm not saying it's good to be stuck in the middle. I don't think that's the case. And in some ways, I think it's actually worse than being at the bottom because at least being at the bottom, you can give yourself a chance. But this isn't we're not talking about lottery balls here. We're talking about doing things that are either helpful or harmful to your future as a team. And the Bulls are doing neither. So I just don't think you can put them in the same category as the teams that are doing harmful things to their future. So maybe they're 26th.
Okay, sure.
Congrats, 26th, but it's not 30th.
The other thing that I think is an important part of this conversation when evaluating these front offices, Sam Quinn put in criteria. What is it that he was looking at as he made these rankings? And he said he was evaluating the following: track record, overall vision, creativity, current success, willingness to spend. Hello. Alignment between all stakeholders, drafting, trading, value in contracts, coach hiring, ambition, self-awareness, luck, whether or not there's a clear hierarchy in decision-making. He said that was the criteria he used when he did this back in February. He said for this July edition, he wanted to emphasize one more important trait. Ready for it? Malleability. There are a lot of front offices that have found success by following a single strategy. They look for similar types of players or make the same kinds of moves again and again. But the smartest teams are the ones that can pivot as needed and aren't married to any single approach in an ever-changing league. As a Bulls fan, that screamed to me because you said, doing nothing is not as bad as doing stuff and doing it really badly. I see the logic in that. AK, it seems, has no malleability whatsoever to his strategy, which is hold on to my assets for too long, overvalue them compared to the rest of the league, and therefore get littler and littler in the trades when I eventually do actually trade some of these guys, and shoot for the gall darn middle. He has no flexibility to his strategy, and his strategy stinks. If he is, in fact, trying to contend for championships, which he says he's doing, none of us true Bulls fans believe a freaking word that comes out of his mouth when he says stuff like that. But if that's what you're judging, he has a singular vision. It's wrong, and he has shown no malleability of changing it. That, to me, is just as bad, just as big of an indictment of front offices who have swung boldly on stuff and had it blow up in their face. That's my personal opinion. Everyone is entitled to their own when you're evaluating front offices of your teams. But to me, that is just as bad.
Yeah, man. I don't think you're wrong at all. I think you're right. Everything you're saying logically, but I feel Matt because that's how I feel when you have to, I don't mind mistakes. I don't mind screw ups. That stuff happens, especially if it tells me you're trying to do something and win something with this team. You're not going to get everything right. Everything isn't going to be great. You're going to overpay for certain guys. I get all that stuff, but if it means oh man, because we're actually trying to do something, we're trying to win here, I could hang my hat on that all day long. It's much harder for me to do that when I'm oh man, I know what this team needs. We need some 3-point shooting. Dragic? It's that, right. So and even in the numbers I can get it and I can be yeah, I see what the Bulls are doing. All that makes logical sense to me, but it doesn't seem like you're trying to win. It doesn't seem like I'm going for it. And I probably give more leeway to owners that are trying to go for it more so than ones who are just trying to be safe. You know what I mean?
So you'd put the Suns ahead of them.
Sure. I mean, the Suns are always trying to go for it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And I'm cool with that. It doesn't work. It didn't work out for them at all, you know? And it wasn't cool. But I'm like, dude, you really did go for it. You really did try to win and do something. Whereas I'm like 39-43, 39-43. Like, and I'm like, we're arguing if this team is going to win 32 games or not. Like, that's where I'm at with this. But
I want to, like, Rob's comment here, I think accurately describes the thing that maybe people are missing about my argument here. Bulls fans are down so bad, they're debating if they are 29th or 26th worst front office. These are dark times.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that they're like the 7th or 6th best front office. I'm saying they're not the 29th or 30th.
I get that. I understand the point.
And I get it. But, like, yes, for sure when you factor in the long-term questions and considerations that we've had about this team in terms of vision, in terms of execution, flexibility, willingness to, like, get creative, they haven't done any of that. I don't know that, like, they deserve the benefit of the doubt either. Like, they just haven't really shown that they haven't given fans a reason to feel that way or they haven't earned that at all.
Yeah.
But I do think that it took too long. Like, it wasn't good, but they eventually moved off of DeRozan, Caruso, Levine.
Yeah.
And they are in the process of turning over the roster.
Yeah.
And we'll see how it goes. Again, I'm not even saying that they deserve the chance to do it, but, like, they are in the process of turning it over. And I think next summer is going to be really telling as far as what their goals and ambitions and plans are, because that's when they have real decisions to make about who they're investing in long term.
I also think his statement, Sam Quinn, is coming from him looking at the whole body of work for years, because he mentioned that in his story. Like, his story, this is what y'all have done. It's nothing, and you're pissing me off because you all aren't doing anything, and it's upsetting me. So this is why I'm putting you here at 29, because you keep doing the same old thing. So I don't think he was looking at it on a year-to-year kind of basis. But it gave him a little uptick because, that's a game.
Well, I feel like doing it in February and then again now, like, you do have to kind of focus on the present a little bit more.
He did in his opening paragraph give them a little bit of credit, saying at least they're finally negotiating with their own free agents after negotiating against themselves for the Vooch and Patrick Williams deals in recent years.
I think that Patrick Williams deal changed them. Like, I think they are having to look themselves in the mirror about how they handle their business there. Yeah.
Could have just not done that in the first place, but it changed. Did you just say it changed you too? I think it changed all Bulls fans who are, although I will say, I put that clip up from our conversation yesterday where you said biggest mistake when we were, going over the biggest mistakes ESPN article.
Yeah.
And they said it was the Vooch trade, and you said, nah, man, it's drafting Pat fourth.
Yeah.
There are still people on Patrick Williams Island, because I saw a couple of them in the replies of that little clip.
Yeah. Somebody
was like, I can't wait for all these people to eat their words next season when Pat does what he does. And I was like,
I was debating
chicken parm?
debating with because they were like, no, they weren't mean about, what they were saying to me. They were just like, no, I think it was the Vooch trade because of the draft picks. And I told him, I was like, well, why do you feel that? And he was like, well, because of they got Franz, Wagner and what he turned out to be. And I'm like, but that's my point. It's what he turned out to be.
Yeah.
That's why I'm considering a mistake, because of what he turned out to be. You know what I'm saying? And what happened over that kind of course, you know? He didn't become that person, that we thought, or the Bulls thought, that he should be, or that they needed. And they still need. They're still looking for him. This is why Isaac Okoro is here.
Yeah.
They're still looking, for him, dog. No other real position that really looked, but that one. They still have not solidified that one. And for me, as long as you're still looking to solidify a position of need, you in trouble.
Dude, if Patrick Williams ever goes Halloween party or trick-or-treating or whatever as Where's Waldo, it would be the funniest freaking thing in the universe. Before we get out of here, real quick, wanted to shout out Alberto Hernandez in the chat. Who, when I was talking about AK's lack of flexibility, said, y'all got the guy who can't touch his toes talking about flexibility. How dare you? How dare you?
Dang,
you like them toes, huh?
Dang,
I
yo.
like them toes.
That's cold-blooded. I like it.
One of my
Alberto,
favorite
that's good.
comments ever. Like,
Fantastic.
that was
Well done, sir.
That
amazing
is
work.
petty.
And like a callback from weeks ago.
I mean, shout out to watching the show, baby. Shout out.
All right, Katie, real quick. The poll, sharks, whales, or jellyfish?
Yeah, it was what was the scariest
in the ocean, the scariest
animal? Because
creature.
I was watching Shark Week
Sharks,
last
whales,
night.
or jellyfish?
Orcas have been attacking rich people's yachts lately, and I do love that.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
The Shark Week show I was watching last night was about how orcas are now attacking sharks.
Yeah.
So I was like, let's throw this up
Oh,
here.
yeah.
Sharks won though.
Orcas do prey on sharks as well. They prey on
sharks
everything.
are going to win.
I went with the correct answer, which is other, because
What's yours?
Everything?
the stuff we don't know,
Oh, yes.
the uncertainty, what could be
Yes.
down there, what monsters could be lurking
That is
down
a
there.
Will the Goat Gottlieb answer if I've ever heard.
What about
Everything.
Everything.
what about in over their head with investments tech billionaires who want to go see the Titanic? That's pretty dangerous too.
I think that's dangerous for them, not us.
Yeah, it's a dangerous thing to
Yeah,
do.
as long as you're not signing up.
I'm not scared
Super
of
chat?
them.
Yeah, shout out to Few. Who throws a super chat saying, love the Dog Days pods, guys. Best therapy for AKME-itis. Appreciate the super chat. You are welcome. Glad you enjoy. It's sharks. It's shark. Are there hundreds of movies
might
out
be
there
right.
about people dying from jellyfish attacks? No. No. Occam's razor, y'all. The obvious answer is the correct one.
He's
Although,
right.
I got to say, credits to GOAT. The unknown.
The unknown.
Very scary, too.
But
There are
Sharknado
known
exists.
knowns,
Yeah.
And there
Five
are
of them
unknown
exist.
knowns, but there's also unknown unknowns.
We're out of
Stuff we
time.
don't know,
Follow
we
the
don't
GOAT, Will _Gottlieb. Read his stuff, allchgo.com. Follow Big Dave. Bow, BWO Sports. I'm Bulls _Peck. We are CHGO _Bulls. The queen of the controls is the one and only Katie Duffy. We are back tomorrow. Same time, same place, 4 p.m. Central. Have a great night. See you. Be good.
Peace, y'all.
29. We're 29.
We all silly like the mayor.